Number 1.
Built in 1145, the ancient Ram Inn in Watton-under-Edge, Gloucestershire, is one of England's most infamous haunted locations. Originally constructed to house laborers and priests who were working on the nearby St. Mary's Church, the inn's history is steeped in dark tales and eerie legends. Positioned on two intersecting ley lines, mysterious alignments believed by some to carry spiritual energy from Stonehenge, the inn is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. The property has a chilling reputation, with reports of child sacrifices and devil worship being linked to the site. One theory suggests that the rerouting of water on the grounds disrupted the energy of the land, potentially opening a portal for malevolent forces. As a result, numerous spirits are believed to haunt the inn, making it a destination for those seeking the supernatural. The infamous Witch's Room is said to be haunted by the spirit of a woman who was tragically burned at the stake for witchcraft in the 1500s. Other unsettling sightings include a high priestess who has been seen sitting on a bed, a Roman centurion on horseback who reportedly rides through walls, and the agonizing screams of a young girl echoing through the halls. The most haunted part of the inn is said to be inhabited by the ghost of a monk, and some visitors have even claimed to encounter a succubus slipping into their beds at night. Despite its terrifying reputation, the ancient Ram Inn continues to attract thrill-seekers and paranormal enthusiasts, hosting numerous events where the brave can explore its haunted halls and encounter its ghostly residents.
Number 2.
This long-abandoned fortress, nestled in a remote valley about 30 miles northeast of Jaipur, is often regarded as one of the most haunted locations in India. The fort, shrouded in mystery and legend, is the subject of numerous eerie tales that have captivated visitors for generations. One of the most well-known stories involves a mystical priest who became infatuated with Princess Ratna, a stunningly beautiful royal who resided within the fort's walls. Despite the priest's attempts to win her over, Princess Ratna rejected his advances. In his bitterness, the priest allegedly cast a powerful curse, condemning everyone within the fort and the surrounding village to a fate where they would never be reborn, trapping their spirits in eternal limbo. Another tale tells of a holy man, or sadhu, who warned the princess's grandfather not to let the fort's construction cast a shadow over his humble dwelling. However, the warning went unheeded when a towering addition was built by the princess's stepbrother. According to legend, this act of defiance led to the town's swift destruction, leaving the spirits of the princess and her fellow villagers to haunt the forsaken ruins. These two curses, intertwined in the fort's tragic history, are said to be the reason why the restless souls of the princess and her people still roam the desolate settlement. Visitors today can explore the fort's impressive ruins and imagine its former grandeur, but local authorities close the area to the public between sunset and sunrise, perhaps to allow the spirits their solitude as night falls.
Number 3.
Poveglia Island is steeped in eerie tales that have solidified its reputation as one of the most haunted places on Earth. The island's history, marked by tragedy and suffering, has given rise to numerous ghost stories that continue to captivate and terrify those who dare to explore its dark past. One of the most chilling legends centers around the island's time as a quarantine zone during the plague. It is said that thousands of plague victims were sent to Poveglia, where they lived out their final, agonizing days in isolation. Their bodies were burned or buried in mass graves, and it's believed that their restless spirits still wander the island, reliving the torment of their last moments. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied screams and cries for help, along with sightings of ghostly figures emerging from the fog that often shrouds the island. Perhaps the most infamous ghost story associated with Poveglia involves the psychiatric hospital that operated there in the early 20th century. According to legend, the hospital's head doctor conducted cruel experiments on his patients, believing that he could cure mental illness through lobotomies and other inhumane procedures. Over time, the doctor reportedly descended into madness himself, tormented by the spirits of those he had harmed. In a final act of desperation, he is said to have thrown himself from the hospital's bell tower, only to survive the fall temporarily. As the story goes, a mysterious mist rose from the ground and choked him to death. To this day, the bell tower is a focal point of paranormal activity, with many claiming to hear the sound of the bell tolling, even though it has long since been removed. Another tale tells of the island's dark energy causing visitors to experience intense feelings of dread and despair. Some have reported being touched or pushed by unseen forces, while others have felt an overwhelming urge to flee the island. A few particularly brave individuals who spent the night on Poveglia have claimed to see shadowy figures lurking in the ruins, following them as they explored the decaying buildings. One especially unsettling account comes from a group of paranormal investigators who visited the island. They described encountering the ghost of a woman dressed in tattered clothing, wandering aimlessly along the shoreline. When they tried to approach her, she vanished into thin air, leaving behind only the sound of faint, echoing laughter. These ghostly tales, along with countless others, have made Poveglia Island a place of fascination and fear. Though it remains officially closed to the public, its haunted reputation ensures that the stories of its restless spirits continue to be told, keeping the island's dark history alive for generations to come.
Number 4.
This well-known Rocky Mountain retreat called the Stanley Hotel isn't just famous for being the inspiration behind Stephen King's iconic horror novel The Shining. It also has a chilling history of its own. The hotel, with its grand architecture and scenic backdrop, is as beautiful as it is eerie. Over the years, staff and guests alike have reported encountering ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena within its walls. One of the most famous spirits said to haunt the hotel is that of a maid who once worked in room 217. According to legend, this spectral housekeeper has a habit of tidying up after guests when they aren't looking, often packing away their clothing or straightening up the room in mysterious ways. Some visitors have even reported feeling an unseen presence or hearing strange noises in the middle of the night, only to discover that their belongings had been neatly arranged while they slept. But room 217 isn't the only hotspot for paranormal activity. Throughout the hotel, guests have shared stories of encountering shadowy figures, disembodied voices, and unexplained cold spots. The Grand Ballroom is another area where ghostly occurrences are often reported, with tales of music playing by itself and apparitions of well-dressed partygoers from a bygone era. For those brave enough to explore the haunted history of the hotel, ghost tours are available, offering a spine-tingling look into the building's spooky past. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, the tours provide a fascinating glimpse into the legends and lore that have made this destination a must-visit for paranormal enthusiasts. In addition to its supernatural allure, the hotel also serves as an ideal base for exploring the nearby Rocky Mountain National Park. After a day of adventuring in the great outdoors, you can return to the hotel and maybe, just maybe, experience a brush with the otherworldly. Whether you're drawn by the stunning natural beauty or the stories of spirits that linger in its halls, this Rocky Mountain gem offers an unforgettable experience, both in this world and perhaps beyond.
Number 5.
The Tower of London, a centuries-old fortress steeped in history, has witnessed some of the most significant and tragic events in England's past. Over its 900-year existence, the tower has served as a royal palace, a prison, and the site of countless executions, earning it a chilling reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. This imposing complex has become the final resting place for numerous figures of historical importance, many of whom are said to linger within its ancient walls, their spirits unable to find peace. Among the most famous of these spectral figures is Anne Boleyn, the ill-fated second wife of King Henry VIII. In 1536, she was executed on Tower Green, accused of treason, adultery, and incest. Anne's tragic fate has left an indelible mark on the tower, and her ghost is believed to haunt the very place where she met her untimely end. Visitors and staff have reported sightings of Anne's spirit, often described as a figure in a flowing gown, sometimes carrying her head, silently wandering through the tower's corridors and the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula, where she was laid to rest. Another notable ghost said to roam the tower is Lady Arbella Stewart, a noblewoman with royal blood who defied the strictures of her time by marrying for love rather than duty. For this act of rebellion, she was imprisoned in the Queen's house, where she eventually starved herself to death in 1615. Lady Arbella's spirit is often seen in the Queen's house, where she is said to appear as a sorrowful, wandering figure, still searching for the freedom she was denied in life. The Tower of London is home to many other ghostly inhabitants as well. The complex has witnessed countless executions, imprisonments, and acts of brutality over the centuries, and the spirits of those who suffered here are said to linger. From the mysterious White Lady, who is often seen staring from a window, to the ghostly echoes of soldiers and prisoners who once walked its corridors, the tower's haunted reputation continues to draw those fascinated by the paranormal.
Number 6.
Casa Matacita, a two-story building located in the heart of Lima, Peru, is shrouded in mystery and fear, earning its place as one of the most haunted places in South America. Its sinister reputation began decades ago, tied to a horrific incident that allegedly occurred within its walls. According to legend, a dinner party hosted on the second floor of the building ended in chaos when the guests were suddenly overtaken by a violent and inexplicable frenzy. Screams echoed through the night, and when help finally arrived, they found several guests dead, with others driven to madness. Some believe that this gruesome event was triggered by a powerful supernatural presence, leaving a lasting mark on the house and its future occupants. Throughout the years, Casa Matacita has been the site of numerous paranormal occurrences, further cementing its eerie reputation. People passing by the building often report seeing shadowy figures moving behind the windows, despite the house being vacant. Those who have dared to enter the house have experienced sudden temperature drops, inexplicable sounds, and an overwhelming feeling of dread. The most unsettling accounts come from those who have seen apparitions of former tenants, believed to be trapped in the house due to unresolved tragedies. One of the most famous stories involves the spirit of a former tenant, rumored to have been a woman who suffered cruel treatment at the hands of her employer, her restless spirit seeking vengeance on anyone who dares enter her domain. Despite its prime location in Lima, Casa Matacita has remained largely abandoned for years, with only the bravest, or perhaps the most foolhardy, venturing inside. The building's haunted history has made it a subject of fascination for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers, many of whom have reported strange encounters during their visits. Even locals, who are well acquainted with the building's dark past, avoid it, particularly after sunset. Its haunted status has become so notorious that it has been featured in various books, documentaries, and television shows exploring the paranormal. Today, Casa Matacita stands as a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that may lurk in the shadows, its dilapidated exterior serving as a warning to those who might consider challenging the spirits that reside within.
Number 7.
Hoia Baciu Forest in Cluj-Napoca, Romania, is often regarded as one of the most haunted forests in the world. Known for its eerily crooked trees and a mysterious barren patch of land believed by some to be a gateway to another dimension, this forest has captivated the imaginations of paranormal enthusiasts for decades. Visitors frequently report experiencing intense feelings of anxiety and the unsettling sensation of being watched as they navigate the twisted paths among the trees. The forest is a hotbed of supernatural activity, with countless stories of strange apparitions, ghostly figures, and shadowy entities that seem to disappear as quickly as they appear. One of the forest's most enigmatic features is its infamous circular clearing, where no vegetation grows despite the lush surroundings. This peculiar area has become the focal point of many legends, with some believing it to be a portal to another realm or a place where the boundaries between worlds blur. Photographs taken in Hoia Baciu often reveal eerie anomalies, such as ghostly faces or figures that were not visible to the naked eye, adding to its chilling reputation. In addition to its ghostly inhabitants, the forest is also known for numerous reports of UFO sightings and strange lights in the sky. Witnesses have described seeing hovering orbs of light that move erratically through the treetops or unusual craft that defy explanation. These sightings have led to speculation that Hoia Baciu Forest may be a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity, further adding to its mystique.
Number 8.
During the Civil War's deadliest battle, over 7,000 soldiers tragically lost their lives, and their restless spirits are believed to still roam the town of Gettysburg. Visitors to the historic battlefield often report encountering ghostly figures, from phantom soldiers on horseback to spectral troops marching in formation. These eerie sightings have solidified Gettysburg's reputation as one of the most haunted places in America. In the heart of downtown, the building that once served as the National Soldiers' Orphans Homestead is another hotspot for paranormal activity. Some have claimed to hear the chilling sounds of children's laughter and footsteps, while others have seen the ghostly apparitions of young orphans who lived there long ago. Perhaps one of the most famous hauntings in Gettysburg is that of Jenny Wade, the only civilian casualty during the battle. Jenny was struck down by a stray bullet while inside her home, and her spirit is said to still linger there. Visitors have reported feeling sudden cold spots, hearing unexplained noises, and even seeing the figure of a woman who bears a striking resemblance to Jenny herself. Gettysburg remains a place where history and the supernatural intertwine, with countless tales of ghostly encounters.
Number 9.
Long So, meaning thousand doors in Javanese, is a massive and ominous structure in Semarang, Indonesia, that has earned its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Southeast Asia. Constructed by the Dutch East Indies Railway Company in the early 20th century, the building was initially intended as the headquarters for the railways. However, its dark history during World War II has cast a long shadow over its legacy, turning it into a place of intrigue and fear. During the Japanese occupation of Indonesia, Long So was repurposed into a prison and torture facility. The building's basement, in particular, became a scene of unspeakable horrors, where prisoners were held in dreadful conditions, many of whom never made it out alive. The tragic events that unfolded within its walls are believed to have left a profound spiritual imprint, and locals claim that the souls of those who suffered there continue to haunt the site. One of the most well-known specters is the ghost of a Dutch woman, often described as a forlorn figure dressed in traditional colonial-era clothing. Legend has it that she took her own life in the building and now roams its corridors, her presence accompanied by a palpable sense of sorrow and despair. Some witnesses have reported seeing her apparition near the old staircases, where she seems to be reliving the moments leading up to her tragic death. The haunting doesn't stop there. Long So is also notorious for sightings of headless spirits. These eerie entities are thought to be the restless souls of beheaded prisoners who were executed during the building's time as a Japanese military prison. Their ghostly forms are often seen wandering the hallways, creating an unnerving atmosphere for anyone who dares to enter. Perhaps the most feared entity in Long So is the Kuntilanak, a notorious figure in Indonesian and Malaysian folklore. This vengeful female ghost is said to be the spirit of a woman who died during childbirth or met a violent end. The Kuntilanak is infamous for her terrifying appearance, often depicted with long, flowing hair and a white dress stained with blood. She is known to haunt dark, abandoned places, and her presence is often marked by the eerie sound of her laughter. Visitors to Long So have reported hearing her chilling giggles echoing through the corridors, and some claim to have seen her lurking in the shadows. For those interested in experiencing the supernatural, Long So offers both daytime tours that highlight its architectural and historical significance, and nighttime, haunted heritage tours that focus on its ghostly reputation. The haunted tours guide visitors through the most infamous spots in the building, including the basement, where the energy is said to be particularly intense. While some may go seeking thrills, others leave convinced that they have encountered something far beyond the natural world. The building itself, with its labyrinthine hallways, countless doors, and decaying infrastructure, adds to the eerie atmosphere. Even in the daylight, Long So exudes an unsettling aura, making it a magnet for paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers alike. Despite efforts to restore and preserve the building as a historical monument, the stories of its haunted past continue to overshadow its legacy.
Number 10.
Old Parliament House in Canberra, a building steeped in history, once served as the heart of Australia's federal government. For over 6 decades, from 1927 to 1988, this iconic structure was the epicenter of the nation's political life, where key decisions that shaped the country were debated and made. However, beneath its grand facade and historic significance lies a reputation for being one of Australia's most haunted buildings. During its years of operation as the seat of Australia's legislature, numerous eerie occurrences were reported by those who worked within its walls, particularly by the security guards who patrolled its corridors during the quiet hours of the night. Many of these incidents have become the stuff of legend, adding a layer of mystery to the building's already rich history. Among the most frequently reported phenomena were doors that seemed to open and close by themselves. These occurrences often happened in areas where no one else was present, leading to speculation that unseen forces were at play. The heavy doors, which required significant effort to move, would swing open or shut with no apparent cause, startling the guards on duty. Another unsettling experience often reported was the sound of a woman screaming. The origin of these chilling cries remains a mystery, but they were frequently heard echoing through the empty halls, especially at night. The disembodied screams would send shivers down the spines of those who heard them, adding to the building's eerie atmosphere. One specific spot within Old Parliament House was known for its persistent smell of cigar smoke. This aroma was particularly unusual given that smoking had long been banned inside the building. The smell would appear suddenly and without explanation, even in areas where smoking had never been permitted. It was so strong and distinct that it often caught the attention of passersby who would find themselves looking around for the source, only to discover that they were alone. Perhaps the most terrifying encounters involved the appearance of an apparition that was so frightening, it caused several security guards to abandon their posts on the spot. This ghostly figure, described as menacing and overwhelming, appeared unexpectedly, instilling such fear that one guard reportedly quit his job immediately after the encounter. The exact nature and identity of this apparition remain unknown, but its impact was profound, leaving a lasting impression on those who witnessed it. While Old Parliament House no longer hosts ghost tours, it remains a significant cultural and historical site. Today, the building is home to the Museum of Australian Democracy, where visitors can explore the rich political history of the nation. Although the museum is open only during daytime hours, and the focus is on Australia's democratic evolution, many who visit are still curious about the building's haunted past. Walking through the halls where Australia's political history was made, visitors may catch a glimpse of the places where these paranormal events allegedly occurred. The atmosphere, charged with history, sometimes feels as if it holds onto the energy of the past, a past that, according to some, has left behind more than just memories. For those interested in history and the supernatural, Old Parliament House offers a unique experience. While the ghosts may be less active during the day, the stories of unexplained phenomena continue to intrigue and mystify, making it a fascinating destination for anyone visiting Canberra. Whether you're drawn by its historical significance or the tales of its haunted corridors, Old Parliament House remains a compelling part of Australia's cultural landscape.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.